Hey guys, welcome back. What a choppy little Monday we had, huh? So we had two lead gappers, and MEDS and BHAT, both looking a little weird out of the gate. I wasn't really convinced on either one of them. Plus the market was pulling back a little bit, and we've had a crazy market lately, and most traders have been trading the market, which is, VIX or the SPY or some futures, things like that. And the small caps have really not gotten their fair share, I would say, of the trading volume. We saw that today because a lot of the lead gappers and small caps we were looking at were trading under $30 million in dollar volume by noon, which is a tiny amount. We're typically, looking at 50 million, 100 million, 150 million at those numbers. So today I was like, wow, that's, let's be a little careful. And that was a good thing because we walked away green today by really being a little bit more pause off, waiting for pullbacks and only trading pullbacks, not breakouts, because I know today is going to be probably an overall continuation of that slow momentum we have been seeing in the small cap world. One focus I want to have today on the video as I'm recapping this stock out of the gate is MEDS. And the reason I want to talk about that one is because we could have had an amazing 40% trade on it. I don't know if I would have held it all 40 or 45%, but a clean 10, 15, 20% could have then been extremely realistic. And even BHAT could have also been a similar good setup if I just stuck to my original trade thesis. So pre-market, I was like, this could be a great entry here, great bounce area because we have multi-month support and resistance in this area. Plus it's a lead gapper, so a lot of traders are going to be looking at this one. It's only, I think it was only the second big green day. And there was a lot going for it. It didn't have a catalyst or lead gapper, but it was, calling these moves out ahead of time and then missing them because you're trading something else has been bothering me a little bit. So I want to maybe start trying out placing some limit orders in these key areas. Again, I only have 2 or 3 trades a day, so I have to really pick and choose the trades very cautiously. But I think on these kind of setups, I really like them. And I don't always like being caught off guard, like bing, oh, okay, I just entered a trade, let's see what it's doing. I like to kind of be there and watch it, but sometimes we don't have that opportunity for watching another lead gapper. So I think I might start doing a little bit more of placing some limit orders around the order book before the market opens. I don't know. We'll start playing around with it. I definitely won't be doing it on any stocks that have been running up for 3, 4, 5 days like Blue Apron or APR, and only really the first or second big green day, and then maybe some former runners if they're really trading in a clear support and resistance range. So yeah, let's go to the charts now. Let's talk about those things. I think you guys will find it really interesting. I got HOTH behind me as well. That was such a tricky stock to trade today. We're going to talk about that one as well. Just, oh man, it just gives me the shivers a little bit. Yep, it's pulling back again. And I was just getting excited to possibly trade it. Moments like these, you just need to turn off your TOS. Oh boy, what was that? Oh Lord, it's dipping. Remember, like always, to hit that like button if you enjoy this content. And if you're totally new here, definitely consider subscribing. I would love to see you again. Let's go to the charts now and recap the day. All right, so here we are. This is MEDS, our lead gapper, and I'll talk about this one first, and then BHAT, which was, again, our second lead gapper. MEDS, pre-market, it was looking pretty strong, and we were over here about 100% to the upside, but then we were starting in this area about pulling back, and I don't really like when stocks are below VWAP pulling back, and this one's already right around 30% down. That's a little past the 25, 27 max percent down from the pre-market high. I want to be looking for stocks that are kind of trending upwards here, and then typically looking for a strong market open, so where the stock just continues rallying, right? The classic gap and go, where it gaps up and continues going on that second leg to the upside when the market opens. But this one, was trolling back a little bit, and I was thinking this could be a really good dip buy. And it was a phenomenal dip buy. I ran up 40+% from where I wanted to get in pre-market. And I said, I should probably go ahead and put a limit order on this one right around $8. And we touched 782, and then we ripped up 45%. It was halted on the way up as well. It was kind of annoying that I didn't go ahead and trade it. I even had a limit order down here at 8.2, something like that, and we could have got this 13% bounce. So I missed MEDS twice. The reason, though, I was a little bit hesitant on it is because we had no news, and it wasn't even listed on Finviz for some reason, which kind of made me a little suspicious. But I don't know. It's a little annoying that we missed this move. And I said this on Friday too. Like, this is one of my favorite ways to enter a trade. I map it out, pre-market. I think, okay, here's clear support, here's clear resistance. We're having the first retest. This is a low float lead gapper. The float was about 7.8 million or 7.5 or something like that. Right here you can see the shares outstanding is 7.4 million, and then market cap 59 million. So the float's probably even lower. Its float's probably like 6 million or something like that. Yeah, I mean, this thing had everything it needed except the news. The news kind of put me a little bit on edge. I really didn't know why this thing was pulling up. So that's why I was a little bit, there was some hesitation on my end from it. But I thought, if we could maybe break past 10, ideally past a 12, because there's a bit more pre-market gaps in this area at 12, then maybe we could have a really, really strong big move to the upside. But again, there was no catalyst, and that kind of put me on edge a little bit. But here you can see, this kind of low $8 area has been support many times, and it's also been a resistance. We tried to break out from it here, didn't work, and then we again got rejected from it here. So $8, clear multi-month support and resistance area, and that's what I love to trade. So yeah, placing a limit order here in the market open, and just if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. We could probably close it for a 2, 3, 4, 5% loss, and that's fine. But when this thing worked out, it ripped so hard. So I'm a little disappointed in myself that I didn't trade any ETS. But sometimes on a Monday, especially when the market is as crazy as it has been, I'll really be even more cautious. And I think that's a reason I didn't place the limit order. I think any other day, especially tomorrow, if I see the setup, I probably would go ahead and place the limit order. And you're not going to be right every time, but sometimes it's hard to catch one of these moves live, because you might be watching what we were watching. I think out of the gate was HOTH and a few other stocks. So I wasn't really focused on this one, and then by the time I noticed that it had a bounce here, the move was kind of over. I think I didn't notice this one until it got halted here back on the way up. So I don't know, kind of not the best trading from my end, but at the same time, it's kind of really good to share this experience and, look at it and be like, okay, why did I not enter the limit order? And then I kind of understand why I didn't do it, because, Monday, and I don't know, maybe I'm just making excuses in my head, but I don't know. I feel like it's an interesting thing to reflect, and the little thing that bothers me is I've kind of said this multiple times that I want to get a bit more aggressive with these setups, but it's also not the worst, because sometimes it's nice to see something several times before you make a little bit more shift in your overall strategy, and this would really be a bit of a shift in my strategy, placing limit orders pre-market. I typically don't do that, so again, you don't have to rush into these changes, so it doesn't bother me too much. Let's quickly go to one second here. BHAT. This was our second lead gapper, and kind of a really, really tough one to trade today. Kind of just pulled back here below 0.8, and then had a nice little bounce, and then it just wasn't a lot of volume. The reason I kind of put it on the watch list is because it ran up over, I think it was like 60%. It was a nice float, 10.8 million float. It was up on good quarterly earnings. So that's all really nice stuff. It was a Chinese multimedia company. Coming into this resistance area, it just didn't have much of a gap and go history. So we had some gaps here and some spikes, but they all kind of ended up with these wicks and all these kind of pullbacks. So it's not the strongest company. It's now sub dollar. So typically we don't want to be trading sub dollar. And when it pulled back here below $1, I was like, I don't know if I want to be trading it. But understanding that 0.8 has been some tops and bottoms in this area, this could have been a good dip buy as well. I mean, ran up 30%. So BHAT and MEDS would have been great trades just to put a limit order and kind of forget about it, and then capitalize on that trade later in the day, in like 5 minutes or 10 minutes after the entry. I would probably be selling it here, right here. So 1, 2, 3, 3 candles, shoulder here in this area. I'd probably already be looking to get out in this area, take my 20% profit, maybe 10, 15% profit, because you don't really know that this is going to happen. A lot of times these have, one spike to the upside, and they continue a very aggressive descent downwards. So you don't want to be part of that. I like to take my profits quickly. And on something like BHAT and MEDS, they ripped up so fast in just a few minutes, it would have definitely been possible to take those profits quickly. But instead, I was watching HOTH, which was not one of our lead gappers, but it kind of came onto our watch list. So let's go ahead and pull this one up. They also had a really nice gap, but I was not really paying attention to it. The gap started happening a bit later in the day, which is typically what you want to be seeing. It happened about 8:44, and when I ran my original watch list, it did not pop up yet, because I think I ran the watch list at like 8:35 or something, or 8:37 or something like that. So I just missed this one. Yeah, nice move here, 110%, I would even say. in the market open, had nice little spikes to the upside. I didn't really want to get aggressive though, because it did have, possible vaccine news for the coronavirus, but we've been seeing so many biotechs with that similar news. And if you check the long-term chart on this one, it's also had, a lot of these failed gap ups, just like this one, where it spikes up here and then instantly pulls back, or here where, we have a big spike up, we open up over here, continue, and then just kind of pulls back even lower from where the candle closed the day before. That's really not what you typically want to be trading. But then it has also these like 2-day runners here. That's kind of interesting. Here we have a 1-day runner and then kind of a pullback. Here we have 1, 2, 3, 4 days, kind of, you can almost argue, although the moves are kind of slow and they don't have that much volume. Here we really have big volume. So interesting potential, and maybe we're going to see a lot of more interesting stuff from HOTH. Right now we're at 535. Pulling back to this 180-day moving average, and big $5 support and resistance. So I love those pullbacks to these key support and resistance areas. I just found that HOTH was so difficult to trade today, and I don't know, maybe it's going to get a nice move later today, but at the moment it was tough. We tried to dip by it here and it didn't really break higher, and then we tried to dip by it again. I luckily got this one. This one was kind of tough though. And then, both these trades, I was only in it for just a few minutes like usual, but I don't know, I found them extremely, extremely difficult. The whole time I was kind of waiting for a break under $5. It was just choppy. I don't know, maybe this first big pullback to $5 could have been the trade, 27% move. So I don't know, that could have been something interesting, but overall I felt like HOTH was one of those stocks that, you end up on the wrong side of the trade very easily. And I just did not want to be part of that. I don't know. We'll see how this one goes. Let's see here. 54 million market cap. The dollar volume on all these stocks today were a little bit low. We like to be trading stocks north of $10 million volume, and typically they go over 50, 100 million very quickly in the morning, and all of these are under 50 million, except AYTU, which a lot of people are trading in. Space doesn't really count because that's not a small cap. Actually, HOTH is making a nice little move right here. I might even consider trading this one again. If we pull up over here, this thing could have a really, really solid afternoon move, because so far we've been holding this area very well here at $5, and I think it's going to try to retest the highs before it goes lower, and this could be that move to the upside, that retest. But I just don't like the time right now. This is not really what I want to be trading at 11:15, so I don't know. I would have to see a phenomenal setup for me to enter, but see, look, now it pulls back again. I think HOTH is it's such a tough stock to trade. So I don't know if I'll be trading it this one. AYTU very quickly. I know it was a really hot in the stream today. This was a former runner finally breaking out higher. I wasn't really that interested in trading it because one, former runner backside of the move. I don't really like those setups. And then, percentage wise, it wasn't moving that much. So 20% here from a perfect top, perfect bottom. When, we saw was MEDS in just, a few candles, you can have, this is like 40 something percent, 45%. So I felt like the way AYTU is moving was just a little bit slow, not my classic kind of setup. So I was kind of avoiding it a little bit. I felt like I could get on the wrong side with AYTU pretty easily, but they do have an FDA distribution approval of the COVID-19 test, and gapping up 40% pre-market. So not exactly a sleeper. Plus FDA approvals are good. It's just not typically anymore what I want to be trading with this one. Also, the float was a little bit bigger. I don't know. I felt like there was a lot of resistance here. I don't know. I felt AYTU was a bit more of a chase. So that's why I was kind of avoiding it. I do have a limit order out for MBY. This was a former runner as well. Has a lot of nice spikes to the upside. Now we're pulling back a little bit here. I've identified that 0.7 is some big multi-month support and resistance right under the 0.8 area. So I have a limit order out, and I might go ahead and remove this order soon, but right now at like 0.68 or something like that. So maybe we'll get a little fast dip on this one. I'll probably go ahead and remove this limit order within the next hour, or if I want to trade something else, I'll go ahead and remove it. So maybe I want to trade HOTH, or maybe not. I don't know. I think I might be done for trading today. We had a small loss and then a small win, and then overall we walked away basically with $36 or something like that, $38. So HOTH. We had 2 trades on it, 1 loser, 1 winner, both small position sizes. I just didn't really want to risk anything. So I guess I'm, kind of happy the way the day ended. It wasn't really anything super crazy, but at the same time, at least it wasn't like a big red day or something like that, because we definitely could have been on the wrong side of some of these stocks. I mean, we were getting halted on the way down on a few of these. So I think we avoided some big red days or some big red moves, but I also missed out on these big, nice green runners. Specifically with MEDS at that support level. I think that's the one that really probably bothers me the most out of everything we're looking at. Just because, we called MEDS so perfectly out pre-market. Like, we know that 0.8 was going to be big time support, and we know this is the first pullback towards 0.8. And I always like to trade those first dip buys at support zones. Not really the second, the third. The second one would have worked too, but you never know. Sometimes they don't. And then once you get into third, fourth pullbacks, that's really slippery territory. So, but that first pullback, I don't know, that's usually what I look for. So a little annoyed that I didn't enter that one, but maybe I'll start getting a little bit more aggressive when we identify these kind of first or second green day pullbacks and just kind of maybe place some limit orders around it. I think it could be good, but just one more thing to kind of watch out for when the market opens and you're trading something else and then you randomly get a limit order entry. Sometimes that kind of freaks me out a little bit, but I don't know, it works from time to time. I think that's everything for this video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to hit that like button if you do. And if you're totally new here, definitely consider subscribing. I'd love to see you again in an upcoming stream or recap video. So guys, stay safe, wash your hands, and make some awesome trades. I'll see you then again first thing tomorrow for the market open. Till then, guys, ciao, ciao.